All right, everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Absolutely. Always ready to explore.
This time, we're going to tackle something I think a lot of us feel like we already know.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Biology.
Mm.
But trust me, cracking open a grade 12 biology textbook has been seriously eye-opening. Like, did you know that something as simple as washing your hands with soap is actually an application of biology?
Oh, yeah. It's all about those biological principles in action, right?
Exactly. So for this deep dive, our mission is to extract those golden nuggets, the things that make biology relevant to everyone, every single day. And honestly, there are some pretty cool surprises in store.
Can't wait.
Okay, so first things first, let's set the stage. We all remember biology class, right? Cells, plants, maybe even dissected a frog or two. But how does this textbook define biology in the bigger picture?
Well, it boils down to this. Biology is the study of life itself.
Simple as that.
Pretty much. But it's about understanding how everything functions, evolves, and interacts with its environment.
So we're talking from the tiniest bacteria we can't even see to those massive blue whales.
You got it. That's the scope of biology. Huge field.
Okay, huge is an understatement. But I gotta ask, why should we care? I mean, unless we're all planning on becoming biologists, how does this impact our everyday lives?
You know, it's funny because biology is woven into the fabric of our lives, whether we realize it or not.
Give me an example.
Take that hand washing thing you mentioned earlier. The fact that soap can actually disrupt the way bacteria and viruses spread, that's a direct application of biology.
I see.
And that same principle, understanding how things work at a microscopic level, that extends to so many areas,
Like what?
like developing life-saving medications.
Okay, that is pretty fascinating. So we're not just talking about understanding how life works, but actually using that knowledge to solve real problems.
Exactly. Think about the fight against diseases like polio.
Yeah.
By understanding the virus's biology, researchers could develop a vaccine.
And that's virtually eradicated the disease in many parts of the world.
Exactly. That's the power of biology in action.
Wow, you've convinced me. But I'm curious about other examples. The textbook mentioned food production. What's the connection there?
Oh, that's a big one. Our entire agricultural system is based on biological principles.
Like,
Well, think about something as basic as breeding crops for higher yields.
right, getting more food from the same amount of land.
Exactly. Farmers have been doing this for centuries, but with genetic engineering, things are getting even more interesting.
How so?
Now we can modify crops to be more resistant to pests, need less water, you name it.
So we can shape our food supply just by understanding plant biology. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, there's one term the textbook kept using that I don't think I fully grasp: ecosystem.
Yeah. Ecosystems are essentially giant interconnected communities. They include all the living things in an area and even the physical environment itself.
So plants, animals, soil, water, climate, all of that.
All of it. It's about understanding how everything fits together, and this is where things like conservation efforts come in.
Right. The textbook was really emphasizing how important it is to understand extinction rates and, how species depend on these conservation efforts.
Absolutely. Every species has a role to play, and when one disappears, it can have huge ripple effects. It's like a domino effect.
Give me an example.
Let's say a certain insect that pollinates a flower goes extinct. Without that insect, the flower can't reproduce.
Oh, I see where this is going.
And if that flower is a food source for certain animals, their populations will start to decline too.
So the whole ecosystem suffers.
Exactly.
That's a scary thought. So how do we use biology to prevent this?
By studying these relationships within an ecosystem, we can identify which species are the most vulnerable and figure out how to protect them.
Makes sense. Now, the textbook also got into some pretty cutting-edge stuff, particularly with genetic engineering. Feels like things are moving so fast.
I know, right? It's mind-blowing. It's no longer just about understanding existing life. We're actually manipulating it at a genetic level.
It's like we're editing the book of life now.
Yeah. Exactly. Take CRISPR technology, for instance. With that, we can edit DNA sequences with incredible precision.
And what does that allow us to do?
Oh, all sorts of things. Potentially treating genetic diseases, developing disease-resistant crops, even addressing climate change.
Wow. Speaking of climate change, what role does biology play in understanding and addressing that?
Oh, it's crucial. Biology helps us understand how rising temperatures and all those changing weather patterns impact everything.
Everything like what?
Like where plants and animals can live, even how diseases spread.
So it's all connected.
Absolutely.
I'm realizing now that biology isn't just a subject you learn in school. It's a fundamental way to understand the world around us and our place in it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's about recognizing that web of life that connects us all, from the smallest microbe to, well, the largest whale.
And the more we learn about biology, the better decisions we can make about our health, the environment, even the future of our planet. This whole deep dive has been incredibly eye-opening. I thought I knew biology, but it's so much deeper and more complex than I ever imagined.
We've only scratched the surface. There's so much more to explore in the world of biology.
Well, I'll definitely be thinking about things differently now, like just walking around and seeing all the biological processes happening. It's incredible.
Right. From the air we breathe to the food we eat.
It's a whole world waiting to be discovered.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of biology. There's always something new to learn.
This has been an amazing journey. And for everyone listening, remember, biology isn't just textbooks and labs. It's a living science that's constantly shaping our world. So keep exploring. You never know what amazing discoveries you'll make.
Absolutely.
And that's a wrap for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.